Hello, everybody, and welcome to the World Series of Board Gaming here on the Dice Tower, the Heat Finals. My name is Chris Yee,
My name's Asker Granerud.
also known as one of the co-designers of this very game, Heat.
Yes, absolutely.
So are you excited to watch people play this at a very high level? In fact, one might say a better playing level than yourself.
Oh, yes, you had to mention it. Yes, I got knocked out in the second round. At least I made it through the first round, but in the second round, I spun out twice in one game, and no recovery.
Now, for the people at home who might know, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a bad thing.
Okay, is
a
it like
racing game.
Is
Don't
it like
spin out.
kind of a bad thing or like a really bad thing?
Very bad thing.
Okay. Well, there we go. So now you know what not to do. We're going to be cutting over here to the table. I think they might still be getting set up and everything, or they're finalizing that. But let's go ahead and take a look at the contenders here to see what you should do when you're playing your own game.
Yes.
All right. I get mean when I'm nervous.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely okay.
I
can take it.
Now, I have no reason to be nervous here, but we've got three great competitors here at the table who I'm sure they have varying level of nerves right now.
Yes, and the draft is starting. They're going to be doing a special snake draft that's been made official on Board Game Arena, and it's also being used here at the WSBG, where they're going to draft two cards each, and then they're going to do a new selection of draft and draft two cards more, and then at the end of that, they're going to ditch one of those cards so they get those three basic upgrades that, or not basic, special upgrades that everyone gets in the card. So
Okay.
it's a little bit of a special tense moment. I'm not sure I can quite see which ones are available. They're playing the Great Britain track, so anything that can positively modify corner speed will typically be a good card to choose, because it might allow you to jump 2 corners in a turn. Should win you around. Yes, perfect. A little larger screen will help here. And what was picked? Yes, a tire card was the first
Tire.
card picked.
Uh-huh.
Second card was a big slipstream bonus card, an RPM with a random speed, but +3 to slipstream, which can also here really allow you to jump several corners in one go.
Yeah,
So-
that middle part right there with the multiple corners in a row. If you can have low speed but high movement.
Yes, and the last player who got to make a double picked a specific combo for that. Picked a brakes 1-3, so it could be used for either thing, which makes it quite easy to hit your slipstream, and then chose a +2 slipstream card at a value of 2. So now the question is, no one has been choosing anything that's speed related. Oh, the other person also with the +3 slipstream chose brakes with a complete choice of 1 to 4, and the first player went back and got themselves that's a cooldown card. That's a cooldown card, right? So the
Yeah.
question is if any of them will try to get some speed cards now for that long straight to see if that can pull them through, because they all have some decent cards to try and make it through the speed card chosen. Yes, the classic speed card. And another speed card chosen. Yes, as predicted.
4 and a stress there, right?
Yes, four and an
a
extra
reveal.
card. Yes, and the 4-wheel drive for three cards was picked first in this round.
Interesting. Now, now Xiao, who sits in the top left there, she one of the things that I was talking with her before the race started, and one of the things she said she really likes to try to manage those corners. That's like a big thing that she focuses on. And when you see the upgrades that she's grabbing there, those are kind of control type upgrades, right?
Yes.
Cornering focused and everything. So
Yes. Well, I think generally you want to choose something where you can try to win a turn, so to say, where you can skip a corner or just make a. And she went for the last big speed card left in the draft, and then she took the upgrade. The cooldown card, which I think is as much to remove it from the rest as options, because she gets to burn one of the cards. I don't know if she'll burn the 7. We'll see.
yeah, that's a tough one, right? This is a neat drafting variant because having something, just holding something, just touching something makes you want to keep it.
Yes.
And so now at this point they have to sit there and say, okay, well, what are we going to get rid of?
Oh, he got the 1-5 breaks. I haven't seen that in there as well. Okay.
JC just shuffling his cards. You know, I've done that before. We're like, well, I have to get rid of one of these. I'll just shuffle and randomize. Okay, what's on top?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to get rid of
And
that.
I think also what they're doing is they're getting rid of them secretly. So, oh no, they are showing it. Okay. So it would be good for us if I can just get those out here. We have the 1-3. Oh wow. Really, really slipstream focused.
Now, Xiao kept the seven movements.
Start your engines.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me know when you're ready.
Were we able to catch everything, you think?
No, I'm not sure it was. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll see it once they get it out there. I think I caught most of it.
All right, so what they are playing with here is you'll notice there are 3 racers. So I think at almost every round of the tournament here, there have been 3 human racers and 2 legends. So if you're familiar with Heat, the legends are basically they're the bot.
The automated system, yes, the automated system that allows you to race against it. So there's also something about being able to predict how they're gonna be moving. Okay, I'm not sure what card they exactly chose. Just trying to put it out so I can make it a little bit easier for us to keep track of. I'll see what I can find it once I see them being used.
Yep, and as we're commenting, we're kind of, we've got our own setup over here just a little bit to try to, see what each racer has a little bit, and be able to see a little more detail here, of course, in the corner. But this is a very good shot here, and I'm excited. I think this one's going to look very good on camera. I love when there's a good, tight race, and if you're not familiar with the game, one of the benefits, too, about trying to stay together with the other pack of drivers is slipstreaming.
Yes.
So as you're behind them, you basically get free movement because they are the ones kind of breaking that wind resistance for you. Now that's something that was kind of a carryover from your previous design, Flamme Rouge, right?
Sure. There's quite a difference to how it works in the games and also how it strategically works. But where it really pulls people together, where here it can also split up packs. It's very hard for it to split up packs in Flamme Rouge. But we have to pick a favorite here from the initial choices, and of course that becomes hard when we don't know exactly what cards they had. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is interesting, right? Because Andy, who we see in the bottom left featured there, one of the things that he said is that he'll be kind of a defensive player where he might give up the lead at some point just to kind of maintain his heat better and everything. I think that's hugely important because when you want to have one big blowout move, having a few extra heat is important there to
Very important.
to kind of basically eat up damage as you take those corners. I think that he's got a good strategy. Now, you going off of less information,
Yes.
what do you think? Who are you picking?
I think I'm picking JC in the bottom right corner.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think I'm gonna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. With all that in mind, I think I'm gonna go with Xiao up in the top left. She took that big 7 movement, right? It eats up heat, but she also took some cooldown. So, all right. So we see from the beginning that first we revealed a Legends card, right?
Yes.
So
So the legends move first. They start first and last here in this tournament format, and we saw JC play his upgrade card, his 4-wheel drive from the get-go, and get off to a really strong speed. It's a special track in that it's not necessarily super helpful. So the difference between, you can see on the next corner, on the 6th corner, that's coming after the 10 corner they're in front of now. If you're very close to that,
And then I was
whichever either side on it doesn't make a huge difference on how you're going to cross the next one unless you have slipstream opportunities. Because you're not going to just blast through these up front, you're going to slow down at some point anyway. So if you could make it here but don't get through it, then you can almost do the same jump. So the timing can be made kind of in 2 ways through the section, not accounting for slipstream, etc. So it's, we have just 3 fours being played. They're all sticking tight to each other up there. Let's see, this green, maybe they'll just run away from the bots immediately.
And the green car would like to move 16.
16 movement. Okay, it's in there. Yeah.
wow.
Okay. no big upsets, no surprises. I don't foresee. Sure, a little bit of slipstream on the next card. If you take a chance and play a card, you can get a slight benefit. But as you mentioned, I think you said that Andy doesn't want to push it too early. So I don't think this is a moment for pushing it. I think you want to stay in the pack and try to see if you can make a push once you hit the section of the four corners, the 6-5-4-3, the gnarly section of the track.
Yeah. Wait, and you see JC over there in the bottom right, who is an official stan of, if I were to be using the terms correctly. He, from the beginning, his first movie, he took a heat to be able to jump into third gear right from the get-go.
Yes.
Which, if you've ever tried to drive a stick-shift car, starting in third is pretty difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to think of heat as more of an abstraction than a straight up simulation. So you have to think of the turn you're playing as more like a sequence of, let's say, 5 seconds. So I think you have to think of them starting in first and then skipping quickly through second towards third, then taking it slower. So I think it's more like a slower, longer thing than just the way you sometimes see it, where it becomes snapshots.
Right.
So you have to like make a vision of a more fluid turn structure, where they also don't stop all the time, for example.
No, yeah, there's no such thing as a perfect simulation race game, I'm sure, besides just actually going out there, getting in your car and going.
Or just running.
I don't like to play that game.
No.
Just gonna go ahead and put that out there.
I discard 3 cards.
Okay, so we had the blue. Yes, we had the
Draw.
JC. I didn't see what he went, but it wasn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He went to 10.
Went to 10. He stayed in third gear. He didn't jump up to fourth because you have to maintain your gear. I mean, higher, faster always sounds good. Always sounds fun out the gate. But it is really about maintaining. Knowing where you're going to have to be, not right now, but in the next stretch.
And
Right?
he wants to maintain the option of going into second gear. As you saw, he already shuffled his deck on the second round, right? So he's drawing into 2 cards that were in his discard pile, and as he went to third, it could be heat that he's drawing up. So the sooner you can cool down and having that option of cooling down, the better. Lots of stress cards being played. Moving 8 so far.
Each stress card, you draw the top card of your deck. That shows the little speedometer symbol, and it
Here and letting us know which upgrade cards they actually had, which is fantastic.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, it's absolutely wonderful.
Brian is one of the runners here behind the scenes at the World Series, so you see the competitors up front. You see us hosting, but there's a whole slew of rock stars behind the scenes. Brian being one of them, getting us, up-to-date information on some of these things. Also, Josh Schwartz is the judge sitting there at the table, who doesn't have his own little picture-in-picture cam, but he's there to make sure that all the movements are correct and all the steps are being followed. So yeah, there's a whole team of people here that makes this work and flow as well as it does.
Now you mentioned that Andy doesn't like to play too aggressively and hold back a little bit, and as we can see, he's already in second to last. They didn't move the last spot, so maybe they're forgetting that they have to move the last spot. Oh, silver, they're getting it now. And of course, this can be fine to stay back, but I could worry that if he tries to use one of his slipstream cards and he misses it early, gets some bad draws, that there's a good chance that the others might actually. I don't think it will be over, but.
Yeah, and that particular upgrade there is an undetermined number, so you flip until you hit the 1 through 4.
Yes.
But if you hit that slipstream, if you are in the space behind another player, being able to slipstream an additional 3 steps
It's huge.
It's huge.
Yes. But he doesn't really want to play it now. He want to place it in the next section where he would get the benefit of going through 2 corners with a lot of free movement, right?
Right.
But even actually, it is technically possible that he could end up going through 3 corners in a single round. But 1, 2, 6, yeah, unlikely. He could save up all his heat and make that happen, but he's not going to try that. So he should just hope that.
Everyone good?
Because he's a little far back. He's a little far back to just take that corner and spend all that heat so early.
we go.
For another, yeah.
Green car.
Yeah,
see.
'cause that's a 6 corner there. So yeah, that would be a big.
Legend line. Gonna move 13.
Or 7, right?
One plus 6. I think.
Oh, Z.
7.
It's
So you mentioned this is a.
I can do it, yeah.
Is this a particular variant they're playing with, where the?
yeah.
You said, was there some variation to the way that they're using the legends, the bot
No.
rosters here? No. Okay.
No, they're just playing the standard rules.
Okay.
Yes.
Slipstream.
That was good for.
How much heat do you have?
Shall
Just 2.
Yes, she hit it. Move 7. Got paid a cheap price. I couldn't see the card she played. She also has a +1 corner card, so she could have played that. Again, I guess that she would have saved
Okay, my
it.
turn.
Oh, now I see the card she got. She got the suspension that can keep her doing cooldown again and again. This can be also very good on this track because she likes a 2 is actually a decent card with all these low corners going here.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And being able to just know that you can always cool down a lot is very neat as well. It allows you to spend a lot more heat going through these corners. Okay,
Yeah.
and you picked her as your favorite. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think she's a smart player.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Now, Xiaolu,
The others are more risky plays. She's actually more control. Yes, absolutely.
interesting, she's from Boston,
Yes.
traveled out for the event. She's originally from Beijing, China,
Uh-huh.
and she actually flew directly here to Las Vegas from Beijing.
Yes.
And so she has a little disadvantage of the time zone difference.
wow.
Our other 2 competitors, Andy and JC, are both from Seattle.
Yes.
So same time zone as here, for what that's worth.
Yes.
So I mentioned that to JC. So, oh, interesting, same time
so
zone,
like
or
9,
to,
yeah, right?
uh,
4, 5,
yeah, it was to
9?
to JC. He said, oh, same time zone, that's good. He goes, yeah, except I flew in at 4 o'clock this morning.
Remember what I said that it could be risky for Red, for Andy? I think right now there's no one ahead of the corner to help him. And he played his slipstream cards.
Oh, no.
And his even his brakes will cost him heat. So this is a terrible situation for him. He's potentially out of the race, and we're on the third turn. I don't think it should be that terrible, but. Can he afford to do? Okay, he's doing it. So he's
using the adrenaline.
He is doing it. He's doing it. But you mentioned that he likes to play play conservatively and save his heat. He just spent 5 heat in a single. He spent 5 heat in a single round.
Oof. Yeah, that is.
Discard.
It's sometimes you feel like you just have to, right, to kind of.
Yeah.
Keep in the race, but not having any heat left over in your.
I can't
in your
see
deck.
his player board, so I can't see how many cards he potentially has left in his in his draw deck. Because now he will be drawing into a deck that has 5 heat cards, which if you can split them where there's 3 in there and then you put 3 in the next discard, then the risk of drawing a huge bad hand at once can be mitigated. Like worst case now would be that he doesn't draw any of them in the next bit of section, so he doesn't start drawing them until he hits the straight, and that's where he wants to hit the high gears instead of the low gears, and can't really cool down them. And he doesn't have any cooldown cards because only Xiaolu has a cooldown card. So I think that was a bit of a pickle. I think it was the right choice to spend the 5 heat and go through, but I don't like his situation. But it also looked like JC spent 3 heat going through that corner and being where they are. So they're pushed. All 3 of them are pushing it, right?
I think so, yeah, and it'll be interesting to see because that second go around, that long straightaway, is where in my experience with a lot of heat, if someone can jump forward there, that's such a big moment in the race, and the Great Britain board has that nice straightaway to kind of play with.
Yes. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I like your pick of Xiaolu more and more as we proceed, and we are almost now into. Well, we haven't really started the game. We're not even a full lap into it yet. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Now, for the folks at home, right? If they have any questions for you about heat, about any of the upcoming stuff, they can go ahead and put that into the live chat if they'd like. But let me ask you a question just personally, as they're kind of getting everything set up here. What 4 boards in the base track?
Yes.
Or 4 boards in the base box, and then another double-sided board in the heavy rain expansion. Do you have a favorite board of the ones that people have seen so far?
So my mind is, of the ones people have seen so far, my mind is on the next 10, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
So that's where I'm looking. I do really like the Italy track because I think the deck management of trying to time that ability to get your high cards on the same stretch twice is so hard and so satisfying when you actually succeed at it. So I think that really, to an extra degree, makes the whole deck management part of it shine. Red here
Yes.
went 1, 2, 3. Maybe went deliberately short to try and make sure that the other players don't hit their slipstream. I like that move.
Now, one of the things about Andy is he said he focuses very much on card counting in this game. And of course, you have to. But you'll notice that he played a stress card when there were only 3 cards left in his deck. So he has a good idea of what he's flipping into.
Yes, I would expect all 3 of these players at this level to have a pretty decent idea about what cards they have left exactly.
5, 6.
Okay. Okay. Yes, they're all okay. It didn't quite work out. It almost worked out for Andy to move slow. Can still be good. It can mean that he. Yes, of course he did burn the 5 heat. So what he really wants to now is to hope that one of the 2 remaining legends overtake him, so he gets the adrenaline bonus for the next turn, because he will want that, considering he just burned all his 5 heat, right?
Yeah.
I really want that.
I'll discard 2 cards.
Clever play.
Yep.
Seems like they know what they're doing.
Go for it.
You know, shockingly so.
After having knocked everyone else out and arrived in the final, who would have thought?
5 plus 3, 8.
Okay, yes, he will get the adrenaline. Oh, and everyone will have the chance of being able to slipstream off the legends. I don't know if they're really good. They're also counting the cards of the legends, so they will know how that affects the odds of what the legends can draw next turn, which can be a huge advantage if you know more or less what it will be going. If you know it will either be going +1 or +2, the outliers of 0 or 3 are gone, then you can like fully rely on that, and you can guarantee yourself a slipstream. I don't know if they're doing this. It's too much to keep an eye on when I'm the one doing it.
Yeah, and I think too that there is something to be said about because this is still the racing line.
Yes,
as of this
yes,
moment.
that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
All right, I take back every nice thing I said about Josh.
It's fortunately a completely unimportant minor upkeep mistake pushing that card to the left. It should stay on the right. And
Right.
maybe I should blame myself in graphic design for confusing people, not Josh. Oh, tense situation. Everyone's thinking. Very intense.
Yeah, Andy is staying in second gear, and that's important, right? Because I mean, just the cooldown at this point.
I don't think we actively know what gear they're staying in, because I think what they do is they play their cards, and only once everyone has played their cards and on their
They
turn, you
reveal
look
it.
at how many cards they played, and that will determine the gear they're in. So, yes, moving 5, trying to, okay, again, preserve. Yeah, not trying to make a push for anything here, not trying to separate or to make the others lose out on their. Oh, that's a risky move. That's actually a risky move.
Oh, I can
Now, if the other players, if Andy and JC have their slipstream cards, they can potentially
Okay.
head all the way out to the straight. Of course, depending on their heat count, which is not exactly to see.
3, 5. Boo.
And then technically also Xiao Lu,
Stress.
the yellow racer, is on the bottom part because that is the racing line to designate
Yeah,
first player.
No, Chris. The racing
Oh
line
no,
is
no,
the
up,
thick
up
line
until
over
this
here.
curve. No, I'm sorry. Okay, you're right.
Yeah. So they're doing it right.
Okay,
Doing it
good.
right. What went? Okay, Andy. I didn't see what he played a 2.
Yeah. That's
And
fine.
two and the random 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, wow. He see if he'd gotten a 3 there,
I'll draw.
and if he had 3 heat left in his deck, which I don't know if he had, so if he got an extra move, he would have been able to exit the straight with his 4 slipstream. And now we have a +3, or is that what we think is going to happen? We will see. Is the +3 slipstreams coming up? It is not. So he's playing 5, just getting through, making sure, and then just staying put probably. Yes, I don't think he will be slipstreaming there. I think he will be keeping his. Oh, he will. Oh. That means he will lose out on his
On the adrenaline,
on the
right?
adrenaline, and he. I know he's drawing straight into a fresh deck with 6 heat cards in it. That surprises me. I would not have done that. I would have lost out on that single move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'm wrong again. Maybe I'm wrong on that again because he also really needs to exit it. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, he's 3.
Yeah.
That's a hard place to be in because he is.
No, I'm wrong. Again, he's right. Yeah, because of his because he has so little heat, he needs that extra move.
Like you say, he's definitely in a tough situation. You can see that JC's managing his heat better. He's got, I believe it's 4 splayed out
Yep.
there. Xiao Lu has.
I can see at least 2. I
can
don't
see
know
at
if
least
there-
2, yeah.
I don't know if it's more. Yeah, but that when I called that he might be out of the game, I think there's that risk is still there. He's drawing into an entirely fresh deck, 6 heat cards in there. On the next round, after this round, he will be out on the straight, and he will not be able to cool down. He doesn't have any cooldown cards. You want to be going fast. He can. The game can be over for him. I think there's a decent risk, decent chance that he's out of it.
So where did you spin out?
I spun out on it was on the France track, and the ridiculous thing or the funny thing was that there was one guy ahead of me, and I was like a little worried that he would run away, and he spun out on the same turn. So when I took the chance to push because I was worrying that I wouldn't get the chance, and then he spun out. So I took a chance to catch up with someone who was then just crashing. Yes, moving an extra space just to ensure.
So it looks like Xiao Lu only has 2 heat, one heat left in her deck at this point. But she stayed in 3rd gear and maintained a hand of low cards. That to me is one of the great things about this game is that push and pull of if you can maintain your deck, your hand of cards well, if you have 3 1s, you can stay in 3rd gear around one of those small corners. That is
It's really about that hand management and deck management, right?
yeah.
Ooh, Andy. He didn't get his. So he didn't. Either he doesn't have the option of playing a 4, or he didn't. He can't cool down. He didn't draw a heat card, because otherwise he would have been going 4 heat.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, my early prediction that there's the risk he will be out of the game. I think very much so. And
All right, JC would.
4, 5.
moving 5, moving through, paying the 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 slipstream, that's good.
The enforced position, cooldown 1. No discard. Draw.
Got the +2 slipstream card in effect and played, and yeah,
Right. So we're
really
trying to catch up. Moving
giving him 4 extra move on that straight here. But I think Andy's out now because both JC and Xiao Lu has better speed cards, and they are a turn ahead, and so I think yeah, it's a tough position to be in.
Now, oh,
Xiaolu has the cooldown card, so the fact that she only has one heat left, not as big a problem. Of course, it could be interesting. It's rare you get the full benefit from the turbocharger she has in her deck, where you fully get to cool down the 3 cards when playing it. Well, we'll see.
because you have to overcharge. You have to take the 2 heat first.
No, you can do it in any order.
Oh, you can do them in any order.
Yeah.
Oh, because that all happens in the
React phase.
react phase. Okay. The official Dice Tower stance is that they believe the Legends are going to win.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? None of the Legends are actually currently in the lead right now, so I wouldn't want to call out my boss
No.
for making just an off the wall, unprofessional, if I were to say so, prediction.
Yeah.
Though I have lost to the Legends many times.
Yes. So I think, that's a very good draw as well for
Ooh.
10 plus 8
18.
is
That will put
18.
him,
So to
7.
7.
Yeah.
I'll put him all the way to 7.
I'm not looking at this before.
It's a
putting it
tough
away.
situation. 4-wheel drive, yes. See what Xiaolu can do.
Oh, my turn, sorry.
Of course,
I'm
Tao
discarding.
does have a little bit of extra heat available, but the fact that
discarding.
Xiaolu is the one with cooldown cards kind
Draw.
of puts that heat selection back into balance. But that was a strong play, both with the slipstream he got, extra slipstream he got last round, and the big push this round.
Xiaolu was able to, so she has 2 stress, and so as you flip through heat cards, for example, they don't count as one. They don't have that symbol. So you're looking for a 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, you're losing one of the basic speed cards. So also you can't accidentally flip into a 7 and suddenly move 7 from one of the upgrades either, right? So it's just it will always be a standard, almost a roll of a die, except it's a deck of cards, so you have a chance of actually knowing what's left in that deck.
She has
She
burned
did
through.
not, and she did not play her 7. Okay, so this is gonna She really needs to hit a.
18.
It's too far. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Right. She really needs to hit a good high card next round. Okay. Tao is looking. It's looking strong.
Yeah. So JC's finished his first lap. Only 2 laps on this particular
Yes,
map.
only 2 laps.
It is only the in the base box. It's only
Italy?
Italy that is
Yes.
the 3 laps. Yep.
It only has 3 corners and then has the very very long straight.
I'll say, I'm going to admit that I never noticed that the Italy map had 3 laps on it. I've always just played it at 2 when playing physically. So I was playing on Board Game Arena with some people, and
You thought you won.
I had such a glorious burnout last turn. I ate up all of my heat. I made it right past, and the game kept going. And I thought, well, now I'm in a bad situation.
I love that.
Great.
That is quite funny.
The game plays very well on Board Game Arena.
13. 16.
I only played once against Chris. He beat me.
Alright.
You got your work cut out for you.
Yeah. Gotta.
I'm not into digital gaming a lot. I don't get to do it. I play chess on my phone, but I'm not sure that
Let's take my
counts.
adrenaline. Don't have one more.
Yeah, Andy's in a tough situation.
No,
just
that one. Yeah.
crawling past that corner. So we'll see what he can get here. But
Well, but I think he's still drawing into the deck of.
a lot
Of course,
of
now he has his adrenaline, but it's like it's a terrible situation. Is he in first gear? He's in first gear. Okay, he is out of the race. It's over.
starting in first gear
Yeah.
At the straightaways.
Yes, and where everyone else will be. No, he's already more or less around behind for sure. One full turn behind, maybe even 2 turns behind Tao, making that catch up at this stage. Would have to have the full heat and still be lucky and make everything work. But yeah, so I don't
Right.
see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, JC Tao has put himself in a very good position here,
Yes.
very enviable position.
Yeah.
And he still has at least 3 heat there in his deck, so I mean that's a good place for him to be in. So once they lock in, then they'll reveal which gear
Yes.
they're locking in cards, then revealing what gear they're in.
Tense. Okay, moving as he's gearing up into third, and everyone else is in fourth gear. It's 1, 2, 3, and a 4. That's 10. So just going.
And that's straight, right? So
There's a corner, but it's a 10 corner, right?
I'm joking about the 1 through 4, but
Okay, got it.
Draw 6.
no bonuses for playing the perfect 1 through 4.
No.
16.
Cannot go 16. Can go 16. Still 0.
And people in the live chat were asking what happens if a legend were to win, then it goes to the first player, the first human player.
And here we have the big turbocharger, and it's moving 17, so moving all the way to the 1. Okay, yes, you're still in it. You're still in it.
That.
Cool down. Okay. We cool down 1.
I will discard 6.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Green will go.
Still clearly in Tao's favor, but she managed to do something and hit a good slipstream. Okay, it's quite lucky that both legends end up immediately in front of her. That does help a bit, but of course she's down to 0 heat. Tao's in front and in front of the corner, and with 3 heat in the bank, it's gonna be tough. However, both his 2 of his main upgrade cards are slipstream cards, and by definition, slipstream cards don't really help you when you're out front because you have nothing to slipstream off. So it's not impossible. Clever use, but it's looking tough. Oh, now she is getting adrenaline as well. Okay, this could be a lucky break that both those legends end up just in front of her. Might be able to keep high speed, get rid of an extra heat, and slipstream off and make it quite a bit far down. So all the way to the 6 to 4. Sure, it's not impossible. It's in it.
And the way this map is made, right? Just because you have a bit of a lead here with this, in front of the 10 corner, doesn't mean that you can maintain it between the 6, 5, 4, and the 3.
No. So JC won't be making it through the next corner anyway, right?
Correct.
And any of these can, if they do this and make a little bit of a jump, can make it through the next turn anyway. So they, in 2 turns, they could be through the same corner. Yeah, so that's kind of the thing with this whole section of all these corners is they can be taken these 2 kind of ways, and sometimes you try to push through a corner, but you don't really get a big benefit from it. It can trick you because you want to go through a corner when you see the option. But,
absolutely.
But if you spend heat or you push yourself into too high
Second
gear, it
lap.
can end up being
Second lap.
the wave is being the flag is being waved.
All right, final lap.
On the final lap. That was actually last round. It should have been waved, but yeah. Sure.
Well, Andy, maybe it's because Andy was the
Okay,
last
so
to
on
cross
the last one. Isn't it when the first to cross?
I would have to know anything about racing
Okay.
to answer that question.
I would have to know anything about racing.
Now, one thing we'd like to mention here is a shout out to the sponsor of this particular race, which is Days of Wonder,
Yes.
your publisher,
Yes.
as well as they have donated copies of Heat for all of the tables needed at this tournament. And lucky for you, this was a very popular.
Yeah,
very
there were
popular
like
tournament.
25 tables going or something in the first in the first round, where we were 4 at each table, so close to 100 people participating.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very cool. I got a video of it. It was awesome to see so many people just being there ready to compete.
Yeah, that's got to feel good for you.
Yeah, fantastic.
And it's hard. It's hard for to be in Andy's situation. Obviously, someone who made it all the way to the finals here. Clearly, a smart, good racer.
Yeah.
Just sometimes you do get caught in kind of a bad situation.
In my opinion, he made a mistake on turn 2. Where he got caught all the way when I called it that it could be risky, and he ended up catching up, but it cost him the 5 heats, and that's still causing trouble for him, right? He still has 0 heat, right?
Yeah.
And is behind, so it's terrible. It's terrible.
Gonna move 12.
JC's there 2 steps away from that 6 corner, so yeah, he's not doing too bad there. That's nice for him.
JC's doing very well. Now Xiaolu needs a good draw, a good hand, and some good cooldown, and hit a slipstream would be perfect. Oh, only moved 10. That was very good. Only moving 7? Okay, I don't get this. She hasn't drawn any of her suspension should be in her hand every single turn, unless she doesn't have a suspension. Is it? Okay. She's been losing it to discards at random times. I haven't been able to get it. Because it's a card, the suspension, which you can put back on the top of the deck after having played it, is a card that once you get it in your hand, technically you can have it in your hand for the rest of the game. You can play it every single turn of the game if you want to.
I see. So it's a consistent 2 and a perpetual cooldown.
Okay.
So Andy's taking a chance here to get rid of some stress cards. He knows he's behind. He wants to get them out of the deck, as he can now. He's playing at the cycle now, where you can see now he's shuffling. This ensures and means that they will stay out of his deck. They will stay out of his deck.
Right.
For a full extra cycle, because he times when to do it. And it can be
That would be
still
great.
be very terrible. And he's crashing.
No.
He's crashing.
Yeah, he's like I said, he prefers to be able to focus on and using those stress cards when they're right near the end of his deck, but he had so much heat in there, he blew right through it. There were no movement value.
He moved 15
So
through that
that
corner. He has
is-
zero heat
7,
left.
11, 14. So I think I get to that corner. I spin out.
14, and he's spinning out.
And he was in a high gear, so he's going to get 2 stress cards straight into his hand.
And I
If I
get.
didn't say it already, I think Andy's out of the race.
Do I still?
That is,
I still discard. Right? So.
yeah, you hate to see it,
Yeah,
but also I have
it's a
been
tough
there.
break, but yes.
Discard this.
But I do think that on
I
that
can
second
still
turn,
cool down. Is
on that
correct?
second turn, now they're asking if he can cool down. He can cool down, but if he cools down, he's going to pay that heat into because he pays it there. So okay.
Also has
So they can't actually do what they're doing now.
What is the clarification? That's
So he's cooling down, but he spun out. So what you actually
Yeah, I
do
think
is you
you had
finish
the
all your
choice.
things, and you only pay for the spin out at the very last thing in your turn. You do that after doing slipstream, after doing all these things. So he would have, if he did the cooldown, he would have done that cooldown at an earlier stage, which meant that he would have then paid it. Because when you spin out, you pay as much as you can, and then when you can't pay, you
Yeah,
crash.
I think
So that would
your
be
turn has
back
passed,
on
so I
in his
think-
discard pile.
Yes, I would have kept it in his hand, in my hand, if I was him, to then cool it down on the next turn, instead of paying it and moving it to the discard. But there can be different reasons. I don't know what his hand is, right? But if he does cool it down, then it would go straight into the discard. So that's a slight mistake. It won't matter. He is trailing, and likely won't even beat any of the butts.
I see.
What happened to you? And you? Okay, that's okay. Okay, it's a gun. It's a gunner. Alright, she's so far out. She has still 0 heat. Yes, game's over.
Yeah. Now, yes. Xiaolu said one of the things that on one of the stress cards on one of the reveals, her suspension got
Yeah.
revealed through that way.
Or she must never have drawn it or she voluntarily discarded it. It can be, but
I think that's what someone down there was clarifying that. Yeah, on one of those card flips, because it doesn't have that, it never entered her hand. It got discarded as part of the stress cycles. That's a risky take when you play that stress, and you know that there are still some good cards you want to get through to draw into. I should clarify.
and especially if she never got a chance to get it into her hand. That's right. She should. So now he just JC just played a few stress cards to just get through it.
Oh, sorry.
Not really worried about it because he can see that he can play it almost safe and still win it.
Yeah.
And now doing that allows the okay, now he's getting help from the legends who are catching up,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
which means that he gets a chance to use his slipstream cards.
slipstream ability,
to maybe make an even bigger push. Okay.
Because right now the gray racer is 2 spaces ahead of him, 2 spaces away from a corner, So he has a pretty good idea. It's a small range of spaces that it's probably going to move on the legends card.
Yes.
I, uh,
And he's gotten enough heat to take the chance and push a bit extra.
You can choose both. Or either.
Either, just choose one is okay.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, his four-wheel drive card, the 3
then
reveal.
I will do,
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to end up using that. Maybe when he gets past that 3 corner,
Sure.
as just part of that last
Yeah.
kind of straightaway stretch.
But he will be the only human player out in time to win. So I think he will have maybe even more than a round spare.
Keep going
Yeah.
down.
Down to second human player.
Go 6.
Maybe pride will make him push to not lose to a legend and
Yeah.
take some unnecessary risk. So I don't know. I don't know how calculating he is. Would you want to win a ring, but actually think
Pull
about it
down
being
one or
being owed to a legend?
and another
I don't know.
one
Yeah, how would you sleep
No,
at night?
my
would
pride
you-
my pride would have trouble.
Um,
It really would.
My pride would have no trouble because it would be a feat if I even made it to the finals.
Yeah, sure. I would be super proud doing that.
I'll
But
take the boost
if I was out
to-
there in front now and yeah, I might end up doing something stupid. Probably
or 2 more.
probably JC's smarter than me.
Yeah.
And I think I'm still good. Yeah. So like that.
And now and she doesn't have any slipshot cards. Okay.
She's right there at that corner.
Yeah, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She needs the green butt because JC won't do it. So she needs the green butt to only move 5 this round, and then she can. Oh, she can go 7. Oh, actually, she can. Okay.
She's, and this is one of my favorite things about this game is that, in the position that Xiaolu was in, she looked really behind.
Yeah.
But these corners are a great equalizer.
Yeah, she's on the cusp of the corner. She has the tire card, which raises both values of both corners if she goes through of them by 1. So if she goes 7, she's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah,
She could slipstream.
Slipstream
if-
through. It would only cost her 1 because the first corner would be a 6 and the first corner would be a 7 and the second corner would be a 6. And even if she can do it while playing some extra cooldown cards, she could in second gear cool down up to 3 if she had those in hand. Okay, it's not completely out impossible, but yeah.
This is going to be a good finale, I think. JC definitely favored.
I think I can see Osa is commenting in the chat as well that that move on the 5 heat, and I think actually it was was madness and too tough, and I think Osa is one of the regular BGA players, who plays hundreds and hundreds of games, and I think the mistake was actually the round before where I moved a little too slow, and I would have probably boosted there or tried something else to risk mitigate with the cards. But of course, again, I don't know the cards they had.
4, 5, 6.
Okay. Now what's green moving? Oh, green's moving more than 5.
Oh no.
I can tell. She would have to move 8, but it's not impossible that she moves 8. But she's only played 3 cards. She can't. No, she's out. It's okay. I don't know. Let's see what chance she took. Could also be that she takes the chance next time.
Yeah.
What is green moving? Oh, we're waiting on someone to discard.
I'll discard 1 card.
Okay.
Draw 4.
Just in, we have a message that's saying, "Hey, tell us to come compete next year in the Heat tournament."
Tell us how to compete.
Well, sure. If you are interested in signing up for this, if you
Yes.
if you want to go ahead and look into that, so WSBGVegas.com, I believe, is the link there. So of course there are the ring tournaments here, which is what we're watching, these finals here. There's an early bird special. If you register, you can see that popping up on the bottom of the screen there. But but also there are the other tournaments and stuff going on. So the War of the Rings Outer Ring tournament, not one of the main 16 contenders to jump to the finals, but that match happened earlier today. So there's plenty of tournaments or even just free open play. We were hanging out earlier playing some stuff in just the open play area and having a lot of fun here at the World Series of Board Games.
Absolutely. We can see that you move 7 and is not paying anything. I think she's contemplating using her adrenaline to go an extra 8, which would cost her 3 heat if she has the 3 heat. I don't know if there are 3 heat there available, or if she somehow thinks she has a chance of making a catch up otherwise, which has to be pretty spectacular. And with JC on 4 heat still left in his deck, and he's been able to move relatively slowly. He hasn't. Yeah, I didn't see if he burned any
heat there on that last move?
sorry, or any of his slipstream cards, or if he's still keeping those. I think he might have kept them. He's not in a great position to use them because green is still behind him, and silver is looking to win it.
Yeah.
Whoa! Legend's winning it.
Now, one of the hard things about Xiaolu, I was talking with her before the race here, and one of the things she said that she's played this game a good amount of times, but
Yeah.
she hasn't played with the garage module cards too
yes.
often.
Yeah.
And so she's been playing with a lot since yesterday. But
Okay.
that's a
That's
hard.
impressive that she's learned so fast then. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. All the tournament races have used the draft
Yes.
that you witnessed at the start of the race. So that's hard to try to figure out what are the synergies of these upgrades that work really well,
Yes.
and what strategies they lean towards. So I think she picked some really neat upgrades there,
Yeah.
but I think blowing past that suspension that first time around.
Yeah, the tires is her best card for the track. Suspension, she hasn't managed to use it. It's what could have kept her in the game. And I think the turbocharger is not something that most would take at this level.
But the turbocharge is so fun.
Yeah. Go fast.
Yeah.
She held on to her heat. She didn't move through. And I don't know how far there's through the corner, if she has a chance to drawing her tire back onto her hand next turn or something, make some spectacular move and push out to the straight in 2 turns. Because of course, if it's 3 turns, then it's too late. With Andy still having 4 heat available in his engine.
So this is the 4th round of the tournament. So there was the introductory, or the first round, went to a second, went to the semifinals.
Yes.
And so each of these are winners from a semifinals race. So people in the comments are asking about how many racers did these 3 have to beat to get here.
Yes.
So it started off with, as you said, probably close to about 100
Yes.
first contenders, and 3 previous races won. That's impressive for all 3 of these here.
They've beaten about 9 races over the 3 games, give or take. 9-10 races, depending on how many were at the given table, especially in the first round. Yeah, so they've done well already, and have to do so win their race 3 times, right? Or maybe some of them came second because they lost to a legend.
Oh, you're really sticking with this, aren't you?
It would hurt my pride. It would. But I would take it. Wouldn't hurt more than that.
All right, what's JC's move here? Going a steady 5 spaces.
Just moving through. Also, he knows, I don't know if he kept track of it, but that you just paid her tire card, because otherwise stopping in that spot could be risky, right?
Yeah.
And he's paying a heat.
5.
So if Xiaolu's able to
I don't know
use
if he
this-
also cooled one down.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hey.
He might end up in 3rd.
First in our hearts, though. First in our hearts. Let's see what Xiaolu's got here.
Yeah. not good. Oh, she has the adrenaline.
She has the adrenaline. One space off.
2, 3, 4, 5. 3. Okay, you can still.
Yeah. And that's the thing is once those legends, because after they get past this curve,
Oh well, she can't. Sorry, no, she can't. You have to move 6 and pay 5. No, because there's no chance that Andy is stopping straight in front of the corner. Right? It's impossible. Andy's going through. He has plenty of heat
I
to
gotta
go.
keep doing this.
oh, JC, right?
Sorry,
Yeah,
JC. Yes,
JC,
yes,
Blue
yes,
Racer.
yes. My bad.
Because he's sitting on 4 heat, so in the position that JC's in right now, he could move. He could comfortably move what, about 7 spaces?
Yes. More if he cools down while he does it, but probably won't do that. But the point is, he won't stop in front of the corner. He will go through that corner.
He will be. I mean, he could be about 3 spaces in front of it, which is gonna, really hurt Xiaolu's chance to slipstream and kind of catch up there.
And we know the minimum speed of the 2 bots out front is 3. So none of them are stopping in front of the corner, right? Minimum speed of theirs is 3. Likely it's
I can
4
do
or
it
5.
without taking that, paying my 2 heat. We're going at 7.
Yeah.
Gotta hand it to Andy. I mean, it's hard in a situation like this, and they all know that they're on the internet,
Yes.
So he's keeping it cool, and he's done a good job. And he's now within sight of everyone, and
At least in theory.
yeah, harkening back to middle school, I've been further back in a lot of races, foot races.
Yeah.
They were, but I'd be huffing and puffing at about the top of the board right now is where I'd be at. So yeah, kudos to Andy. Playing well, playing clean, keeping a good attitude.
Yes.
Like I said, all of these racers should be proud of where they're at. All these players, I keep calling them racers.
Yeah, we can call them both.
Yeah, why not, right?
People, players, racers, competitors.
Now, do you have, of the 4 modules that come in the game of
Yes.
right? There's the Legends module,
Yes.
Weather, the Garage upgrades,
championship.
and then the Championship. Do you have a favorite for yourself amongst all of them?
I think the only one I never really play without, unless I'm really teaching it to someone new to gaming, is the Garage module.
Okay.
But I like all of them, and the weather module keeps the tracks fresh because sure there are 4 tracks in the game, which is a lot with two big boards. But if with the amount of plays the game is getting out in the groups, then 4 tracks is not a huge amount. So the fact that you can keep them fresh, you constantly have to adapt to them again and again, which also affects the choices of cards a little bit, right? It means that there's so much replayability in it. I think that and the Garage module, those two combined really keeps it
Yeah.
forever replayable. Call it infinite replayability. Of course, it's not infinite, but there's so much that
Easy
you,
to learn, hard to master. Let's just throw out more buzzwords, Oscar.
Well, maybe not that. Not just the fact that you can have a new setup every time. That you always have to adapt to it a little bit afresh, right?
I agree.
And of course, it's not infinite, but it is enough that you have to play it a ridiculous amount for you to feel that it becomes repetitive. Right?
I will not be playing it that many times.
Exactly.
I can tell you that. Yeah. Oza over there will be playing it a few hundred times a board game.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen this combination already.
Those people on Board Game Arena, right? It's like, oh yeah, no, not just seen that combination. Oh yeah, I played this track with this weather, with that upgrade selection. Yeah, that's like my 7th play of it, like that, right?
And you can tell. I mean, I'm poking fun a little bit, but Oza's obviously he's kind of calling what Tao's next move probably would be. Try to move 6 spaces to slipstream off of one of the legends. Use his 4-wheel drive, the triple reveal, as part of a big push on that last turn and get up there. And he could genuinely beat the even the legends.
I think he's got a very good chance of that. I think he's been taking it slow. I think he has good cards in hand. He might even know what's in his deck. So I think there's good management going on.
We're all good?
Uh,
Here's 3.
yeah, time will tell. Time will tell.
Okay.
Okay.
But the legends can also just come out,
Legends.
go really fast now, deny him any slipstream opportunities, and then move 19 on the next move, right?
It could, yeah.
So 6%.
Yes, so this one's going really fast, okay?
Three,
But of course,
5
it's,
spaces there.
yes,
Three,
6 even.
4.
Okay.
That could be now that he's moving and
Moving
hitting
6.
exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, moving 6.
4, 5,
Yes,
6.
exactly. Moving
Oh,
6,
slipstream
slipstreaming 5. Yeah, 2,
5.
4, 5.
3 for the corner, 1 for the card.
Oh, he's using all his, but he's in. Okay.
Nice.
Woo!
No discards.
Okay. I think he has. Yeah, did a lot of slipstream there. He
Took an
moved
extra
to
heat.
6. Going into fourth gear, he won't be able to boost, but the win ahead of the human players is done. 6, and finally she has a suspension in hand, and she's playing it for cooldown here on the
Yeah,
on the,
that's a
on
tough
the
break.
cusp of the of the finale. Yeah. That's really tough. I actually like that she drafted that card for this track, but
As we're kind of looking at the home stretch here, is there anything that you want to tease for the future of Heat yourself?
so we will be doing these 5 expansions, more or less like the ones we did for Heavy Rain. We're doing for the next 5 years, so there will be 6 of them, so you can play with the 12 player count. And following a similar setup of like components, not content on those components, but components in there.
There's going to be a new racer color in every one of the expansion boxes?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
We've been playing with these especially at conventions, so of course also in our own playtest groups. It's not super easy to get 12 players for a playtest group. Heat makes it a little easier, but at conventions when we go, we also sit down and we play it with people, and it's nice to sit and play with 10 other people at once. Of course, we're working on a few other modules in between where we want to like upgrade one like specific part of the game more instead of here where we do a little bit of everything. So hopefully that will also excite people. I wish I could say more.
Well,
Oh, Tao has over 500 games on PGA. Okay, wow.
yeah, I mean, that's,
Someone commented on the chat. Yes.
Thank you for that insight, Oza. Yeah, I mean, I know that's talking with him before, and he said so. He is also going to be in a few of the other competitions. You can be in up to 1 ring tournament each day.
Yes.
Here at the World Series.
Yes.
So a lot of them actually are going to be in Arnak and Dune and Castles of Burgundy.
Okay.
I think both Xiaolu and JC are in those ones. Andy will be competing again in Arnak, Dune, and Cascadia. So it is interesting that all of these games have digital implementations. A lot on Board Game Arena, several of the apps and stuff. So
Okay.
it's a good way to get a lot of practice plays.
They've been grinding them there. Yes.
You're good.
Yeah, I played exactly 1 game on Board Game Arena. I lost it to Chris. Oh.
When's the last time you won your own game?
I won the first round. I won the first round. A victory like JC's, a full round ahead of my competitors.
Nice.
Yeah, it felt good.
Yep,
And
and
until I didn't trash.
And here he is playing his 4-wheel drive, so let's
He's
see.
been having that in hand for ages, right? And he's moving 9, 12, 21. Boom. No, well, he did not want the legends to beat him. He wanted to win that ring.
Right.
And go post it on some robot.
Here we go.
Okay, yeah, that's done. Well done.
14.
Congrats to him. Well played.
Yeah,
It felt like it was already when they got out to that stretch last time that like a full lap ago that will be hard for both Xiaolu and definitely Andy to catch up.
definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it will only be 1 round after that Xiaolu comes out, but even with probably still with a slower speed, so effectively she would have needed 2 turns to beat him.
Well, we play it out for second and third.
And Andy was about, definitely at least 3 turns behind.
And Andy is still. Oh, he has to move now, right? So it'll be 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then 2,
Um,
3. One more turn. 1, 2, probably 3 turns after this.
Okay, and they're going to be playing out the last turns here for second place as well.
Yes.
So that
second and third. Yes.
yeah, second and third.
Well, fourth and fifth, right? But...
Wow!
Oh, burns. I was like, I'm super surprised at this level that the butts did get smoked.
discard this. And
But sometimes they just have it's a random system, right? So
It is.
sometimes they just do absolutely stunning draws, and maybe this is just was a statistical outlier for them.
And these guys are not allowed to get second and third. So
You hear that? These bots are not allowed to be second and third.
They're being moved down,
Yes.
relegated.
Yeah, so I have to clarify that for some people in the, from the Peanuts gallery. As they
But
call
this is like the World Series of Board Games extra rules. No, of course, it makes perfect sense. And we're now playing for second and third, but that's obviously also a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I believe so. It would have to be a very rough draw of cards that Seattle has, but she's
Just +1.
That is
oh,
No,
there
you
it is.
need it.
She's
Oh,
crossed
just
the
made
finish
it.
line.
Okay, yeah.
wanna finish the
So as I
race?
said, right,
Yeah,
even if
okay.
she'd been out on the last turn, if that's where she made it to, she would still have lost to JC.
To JC,
So she would need a full extra turn. So it's two turns extra she would have needed. So to win somewhere along this track to be ahead of him. And even that's not a given because that might have given him more opportunities to use some of his slipstream cards to catch that back. Because
Yeah.
they were big. So that it seemed like a very comfortable win for JC. Well played.
Well, there you go. And you know what? In good sportsman conduct, he's crossing the finish line here. So
Yes.
Go 7, 10, 11. So get to
Probably a boost coming up.
16.
Let's say it's a 1.
I'll do my adrenaline.
Okay.
Adrenaline.
Okay.
And a boost.
He will make it.
Maybe we don't have to shuffle this, but
do it this far.
there we go.
nice.
All right.
Oh, there you
very
go.
Nice. Put you in here for the camera. Give you your flowers.
well, there you go.
Great game.
Cool.
Great,
Good game.
great,
Well played. Right.
great, fully clean win there too.
Absolutely.
JC.
Very comfortable. Very comfortable.
Good
Well
fun.
done. I don't know if this is a Verstappen win
All
or
right,
something.
find out if
I
they want us to
Daniel,
do it.
my co-designer, is the guy who actually knows details about real Formula One. So
Oh, I see. So yeah, you're not the knowledgeable race person yourself. All right. Well, congratulations to JC. Flew in 4:00 this morning himself from Seattle
super impressive.
to be here. Made it through 4 rounds of
Yes.
racing to win it.
Won all 4 of them. And
Yeah.
when you interviewed him ahead of it, he said that he was here, flew in so early that he was afraid that he was going to crash, which I thought was a bit obvious to say just ahead of a racing game. But he did not crash. Maybe
Yeah.
he will go crash
Yeah.
now with a win and a ring.
Maybe that's like theater, in at least in English speaking culture. It's, instead of saying good luck, you say break a leg. Right?
Yes, break a leg.
Yeah, go crash. Go
Let's
crash
go
your
crash.
car. Right, for a Formula One race.
Crash your car.
All right.
It's been a pleasure, Chris.
Thank you, Asger, for coming out, and
Yes.
thank you for the game, and thanks
Oh.
for all the details as well.
That's
So,
good.
folks, don't forget that here in just a little bit, it is about 1 hour out. There's going to be another stream for the World Championship for Ticket to Ride. So, yeah, that'll be a fun one to come back to. Make sure that you want to watch that. 8:30 Pacific time, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, and then of course whatever your own time zone is. But we'd like to thank the World Series of Board Game. I'd like to thank Days of Wonder for donating the copies out for this game, and I'd like to thank you, Asger, for coming out for the game and for everything.
Thanks for having me, and thanks to Days of Wonder, and then hopefully there will also be some interest to this other game they have running in the next few rounds.
Just
I don't-
Ticket to Ride.
Yeah,
We'll see if
yeah.
we'll see if this game goes anywhere. All right, folks. Make sure to stick around. We'll see you on the next stream. Take care.
Bye.